Hello, welcome to the Crochet Cakes YouTube channel. Today we're going to be learning how to crochet the broadband stitch. You can find this stitch in the Crochet Every Way Stitch Dictionary by Dora Orenstein. Now, the broadband stitch is essentially a two-row repeat. One row is going to be dramatic fans, and the other one is going to be the spaces where we're going to work these fans. To crochet up this stitch, I'm going to be using worsted weight yarn and both a 5mm and a 4.5mm crochet hook. Today I'm going to be teaching how to start this stitch with the long tail cast on. Now this is a crochet long tail cast on and we're going to be needing multiples of 11 plus 1. For this tutorial I'm going to be doing 45 stitches, so 44 being the multiple of 11 plus 1. Now I'm choosing to start with the crochet long tail cast on because for the first row of this stitch we are going to be skipping stitches between several of the stitches, and if you use chains it's kind of hard to gauge how many stitches you're actually skipping, and if you use foundation single crochet it gapes too much and it kind of distorts our foundation row. So to begin the crochet long tail cast on, I'm going to be starting with a tail that's about 3 inches long, and from there on I'm just going to be pinching for each stitch that we're going to be creating. So like I said, we need multiples of 11 plus 1. 44 plus 1 is 45. So I'm going to be pinching until I have 45 pinches. After these 45 little pinches, I'm going to be leaving about 2 inches extra for that long tail. And now we're going to begin our long tail cast on by using a hook that is 0.5 inches larger than the one we intend to use for the stitch. So I'm going to begin using a 5mm crochet hook and making a slip knot. Once we complete the slip knot, we need to make sure that our long tail is facing us, and then that our working yarn is to the back of the hook. To begin casting on stitches, we're going to take that long tail that's at the front of the hook, we're going to wrap it over and bring it to the back of the hook. Now we're going to take our working yarn and we are going to wrap it back to front. And we're going to take that loop and pass it through the two loops on the hook. Again, we're going to take that long tail, wrap it forward to back, take the working yarn, bring it back to front, and pull through the two loops on the hook. We are going to continue repeating these movements to create our crochet cast on until we've completed a total of 45 stitches, or cast on edge. Once we've completed our 45 stitches for the sample, this is what our cast on edge is going to be looking like. Now I'm going to switch from the 5mm to the 4.5mm crochet hook for the rest of the tutorial. And the first thing that we're going to be doing is that we're going to chain one and we are going to turn. Now we are set up to start row 1. We begin row 1 by working a double crochet into the first stitch. Now instead of doing a double crochet or a chain of 3, I'm going to do a stacked single crochet into that first stitch. To do a stacked single crochet, I'm going to insert my crochet hook into the stitch, that very first stitch, and I'm going to complete a single crochet. Once I've completed this single crochet, I'm going to insert my crochet hook into the left leg of the single crochet stitch. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull up a loop. 2 loops on the hook, so we yarn over, pull through those 2 loops on the hook, and we have stacked our single crochets. Now we are going to be chaining 3. And we're going to be doing a double crochet 2 together. Now, this double crochet 2 together is special because we are going to start it in the very next stitch. But before we end the stitch, before we complete that double crochet 2 together, we are going to skip 3 stitches. Okay, so we've started our double crochet 2 together, and now we are going to skip 1, 2, 3 stitches. In the following stitch, we are going to end our double crochet 2 together. So in total, we need 5 stitches for our double crochets 2 together. 1 to start the stitch, 3 to skip, and 1 to end the stitch. After completing our double crochet 2 together, we are going to once again chain 3. Now we start the row repeat by doing another double crochet 2 together. So we start this one in the next stitch. Okay, now we yarn over and we're going to skip 3 stitches and close our double crochet 2 together in the following one. To continue along this row, our repeat is going to be that double crochet 2 together we just did. Now we're going to chain 7. We're going to skip 1 stitch. And we're going to work a double crochet 2 together. Remember that the double crochet 2 together is worked in the next stitch. Then we skip 3 stitches and we complete our double crochet 2 together in the following one. So far, we've got our double crochet, chain 3, double crochet 2 together, chain 3, this double crochet 2 together that begins our repeat, a chain 7, and a double crochet 2 together. We end the repeat by chaining 3. Now we start the repeat once again by working a double crochet 2 together. Remember to skip stitches between the start and the end of your double crochet 2 together. After completing the double crochet 2 together, we move on to the next step of the repeat, which is a chain 7. I'm just going to slurp my tea while I watch myself chain 7. Okay, now we're going to skip the next stitch in the chain, and we're going to start a double crochet 2 together in the following. Remember, we are going to skip 3 stitches between the start and the end of the double crochet 2 together. The final instruction in our repeat before we begin it all again is to chain 3. Now with the amount of stitches that I've cast on, which again is 45, I'm going to do the repeat one more time and I will meet you back here to complete the last 6 stitches together. The written repeat is on the screen for your benefit. So the very last instruction of the repeat is to chain 3. We've done that. Now we're going to start our last double crochet 2 together. And we are going to finish our double crochet 2 together. Okay, now the very last thing that we are going to be doing is that we're going to chain 3. And we are going to work a double crochet in our very last stitch. Okay, so we've completed row 1. Taking a closer look at row 1, we have a chain 3 space at the very beginning. Then we have chain 3 spaces broken up by chain 7 spaces. So 1 chain 3 space, chain 7, chain 3, chain 7, chain 3, chain 7, a chain 3, and a very last chain 3. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1 and start row 2. In row 2, we're going to be working into our chain spaces. We begin row 2 by working a double crochet into the double crochet, or in my case, a stacked single crochet into that first double crochet. Once we've completed either the stacked single crochet or our first double crochet, we're going to grab a stitch marker and place it in that very first stitch that we've completed. So right on that first double crochet or stacked single crochet in my case, we're going to place a stitch marker. This is going to be very important, I promise. All right, now into that chain 3 space, that first chain 3 space, we're going to be working a mini fan. This mini fan is going to be 6 double crochets into that chain 3 space. Okay, so after this one, I'm going to double check that I've actually completed 6 double crochet into that chain 3 space. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6 double crochet into the chain 3 space. In the next chain 3 space, we're going to be working a popcorn stitch. Now, I like to do my popcorn stitches using 4 double crochets, but if you like the look of 5, then feel free to do that. Oh, and remember that a popcorn stitch is either 4 or 5 double crochet worked into the same stitch or space. And once we complete that last stitch, we're going to pull up the loop. We're going to insert our crochet hook into that first double crochet of the 4, grab the loop, pull that through, and chain 1 to secure. After completing the popcorn stitch, we have a chain 7 space, and into this chain 7 space, we're going to be working 13 double crochets. Yes, that is 13 double crochets all into that chain 7 space. So for this row 2, the repeat is going to be popcorn stitch into the chain 3 spaces and a 13 double crochet fan into the chain 7 spaces. And we're going to repeat the popcorn into the chain 3 space, 13 double crochet fan into the chain 7 spaces until we have one last chain 3 space left. I know my thumb is kind of blocking the view, but we have 2 chain 3 spaces left. So in the one that's closest to the fan, we're going to be working a popcorn stitch. Okay, so now we are left with a last chain 3 space and a double crochet. So into that last chain 3 space, we're going to be working what we called the mini fan right at the beginning. So that is going to be 6 double crochets into that last chain 3 space. In the last stitch of the row, we are going to work a double crochet. So that is this stitch here, we're going to be working a double crochet. I also recommend that you place a stitch marker in this stitch so that you don't lose the first and last stitches of the row. Now for row 3, we are going to chain 1 and turn, and we are going to work a double crochet in the marked stitch. Row 3 is once again going to be our, I call them empty space rows, because row 3 is the row that we're going to create all the chain spaces that we're later going to work our wide fan and our popcorns into. So after we complete this first double crochet, we are going to move our marker up and then we are going to chain 3. So this chain 3 at the beginning is going to be a mini fan space. Okay, now we're going to start our double crochet 2 together in the next stitch. And we're going to be skipping 4 stitches, and we're going to end our double crochet 2 together in the following stitch. So for row 3, we actually need 6 stitches to complete our double crochets 2 together. Now we're going to chain 3 again, and we are going to skip the popcorn stitch because for row 3, we only work on top of the fans. So in the first stitch of that wide fan, we're going to be starting our double crochet 2 together. And remember to skip 4 before ending your double crochet 2 together in the next stitch. Now we are going to chain 7. We are going to skip one of our fan stitches, and we're going to start our double crochet 2 together in the next stitch. Skip 4 stitches and end your double crochet 2 together in the last stitch of the fan. Okay, so the repeat for this row is going to be chain 3. This skips the popcorn. Double crochet 2 together. Remember this happens over the first stitch of the fan. Skip 4 stitches. And end your double crochet 2 together. Chain 7. Skip 1. Start your double crochet 2 together in the next stitch and end it in the last stitch of the fan. And now we're ready to continue our repeat of chain 3, double crochet 2 together, chain 7, skip 1 stitch in the fan, start your double crochet 2 together in the next stitch, skip 4 stitches, end the double crochet 2 together. Okay, so now we are going to chain 3 to skip the popcorn, and we are going to start our double crochet 2 together in the first of the fan stitches and end it in the last fan stitch. This is why it's important to mark your double crochet at the end and at the beginning. After completing the double crochet 2 together, chain 3 once again and work a double crochet into that marked stitch. Chain 1 and turn to start row 4. Row 4 is a fan row. We're going to start by working a stacked single crochet or a double crochet into that first stitch. Into the first chain 3 space, we're going to work a mini fan, which is 6 double crochets into this chain 3 space. Remember to move your marker up at the start of the new round so that you can differentiate between the double crochets from the fan stitches and the double crochets of your beginning double crochet. After completing the mini fan, we're going to work a popcorn stitch in the next chain 3 space. As I said, this is a fan row, which makes it a repeat of row 2. And row 2, we worked popcorn stitches in the chain 3 spaces, and then we work the big fan in the chain 7 spaces. So after chaining 1 to secure our popcorn stitch, we arrive at the big chain 7 space. And here we're going to work 13 double crochets. Okay, and this one makes 13 double crochets. At the moment, we've completed a mini fan, a popcorn stitch in the chain 3 space, and a big fan of 13 double crochets into the chain 7 space. Now we're going to continue along the pattern by working a popcorn stitch in the chain 3 space, we start our pattern repeat all over again by working 13 double crochets in the chain 7 space, and then we're going to follow that by working a popcorn in the chain 3 space. I will meet you back here when we have one remaining chain 3 space and one double crochet. I've just completed the last popcorn of the row, so now in the last chain 3 space we are going to be working a mini fan, so that is working 6 double crochets into this space. Okay, this is the last double crochet of the fan. And now all that's left to do is work a double crochet in the marked stitch. With that, we complete row 4. So I'm going to be doing one more repeat with you. So again, the repeat for this broadband stitch is this squaring off row where we do double crochet 2 togethers and chain spaces. And then the second row of the repeat is our fan popcorn row. So we are going to chain 1 and turn and start our squaring off row. Okay, so into that first stitch, we are going to work a alternate double crochet. Move the marker. Okay, and now we are going to chain 3. And we're going to start our double crochet 2 together in the next stitch of the fan. Then skip 4 stitches and complete the double crochet 2 together in the last stitch of the fan. So in this squaring off row, this is a repeat of row 3. What we're going to be doing is creating the chain spaces to put our popcorn stitches and the chain spaces to work our extravagantly big fan. So once we complete our first double crochet 2 together, we chain 3. We start the next double crochet 2 together. And I just want you to notice that the double crochet 2 togethers are always worked in a fan. It doesn't matter if it's a big fan or the large extravagant fan, we work the double crochet 2 togethers in the fan. We're actually skipping the popcorn stitches. Okay, and we started the double crochet 2 together. Now we end the double crochet 2 together. Now we chain 3. We skip the popcorn and we go over to the next big fan. We start our double crochet 2 together, skip 4 stitches, and we end the double crochet 2 together. Now, since we're at the large fan, we're going to chain 7. We're going to skip one of the fan stitches, and in the next one, we're going to start our double crochet 2 together. Skip all those stitches, and in the last stitch of the fan, end the double crochet 2 together. Now, because we've reached a popcorn section, we're going to chain 3, and we're going to skip the popcorn. Okay, now we're going to start the double crochet 2 together in the first of the fan stitches, skip 4 stitches, and end the double crochet 2 together. Chain 7, skip 1 stitch, and start your double crochet 2 together in the next one. Skip 4 stitches, and in the last stitch of the fan, we're going to end the double crochet 2 together. Okay, so for this squaring off chain space section, the thing to remember is that we do chain 3 spaces to skip the popcorn, and in the big fan, that's when we do our chain 7 spaces, because in the next row, that's where we're going to create our fans. Okay. To end the row, we are going to chain 3. And then we're going to work a double crochet into the last stitch of the row, or the marked stitch. So this is, we've completed row 1 of our 2-row repeat. Okay, remember row 1 is always the chain making row, and row 2 of the repeat is going to be our fan making row. So we are going to chain 1 to start this row 2 of our repeat and turn. And into that first stitch, we're going to work a double crochet, or a stacked single crochet, as I'm doing. Okay, and now we're going to work a mini fan in the first chain 3 space. Okay, and this is the last double crochet of our mini fan. Now we move on to the next chain 3 space, and we're going to be working a popcorn stitch. And after we complete this popcorn stitch, we're going to be starting the repeat for our fan row. Remember to chain 1 to secure your popcorn stitch. And now we're going to start the repeat for this fan row, which is work a big fan in the chain 7 space. In other words, work 13 double crochets into the chain 7 space. After completing these 13 double crochets, we will work a popcorn in the chain 3 space. And there you have the broadband stitch, a stitch that is composed of a 2-row repeat. One row is a chain row, and then the next one is a fan row. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of crafty time with me today. I hope that you enjoyed this stitch, and let me know what you would make with this stitch. I already know what I would make. I'm designing a top with this stitch. Just want to thank you again for being here, my lovely friends. I will see you next time for a crafty vlog. Happy crafting! Bye!